what's up, hungry people? Today we're getting our eat on in Greece. Welcome to the new studio. I'm itching to get back out and traveling again. Last year, I quit my job, and unfortunately, vacations were the first thing to be cut from the budget. So today, I'm looking back on my last international trip and finally putting together my vacation video. If I can't leave Ohio, I might as well live vicariously through my own footage. Whether you're into travel or food or just pretending you're on vacation through someone else's stomach, don't forget to subscribe to keep your feed fed and let the algorithm know that you want to consume my content, literally. And leave a comment with where I should head to next, for the sake of engagement. Alright, now let's eat our way through Greece. If you need a refresher, we started our journey in Egypt, sailed the Nile, and saw the pyramids before heading to Athens, Greece for the second leg of our trip. You can watch my video of our Egyptian travels linked in the description down below. Leaving Egypt did not disappoint, with an in-flight meal to tide us over on the short plane ride over the Mediterranean. From Giza to Greece in one day, we found ourselves in the Neos Kosmos neighborhood of Athens, with an incredible apartment and even more incredible view of the Acropolis. We dropped off our luggage and quickly headed out to find our first meal in Greece, a platter piled high with souvlaki, pita, and kebab. The next morning, we started the day with the best coffee and breakfast wraps from the shops below our apartment, before grabbing a public bus to the beach. Public transportation in European countries is literally so clutch. We managed to get a few chairs for a small fee at Astir Beach, and that's where we ended up spending most of our day. After a quick swim to cool off in the Mediterranean, we ordered a margarita pizza for lunch and, of course, sipped on Aperol spritzes. I am a white woman after all, and they are my favorite drink. That evening, we headed back to our apartment for a nap and then made our way to one of the most unique attractions in Athens, Little Kook, or Kook. I don't really know how it was pronounced, but I'm gonna say Kook because it was kooky. This alleyway is decked out from top to bottom. Every inch is covered in Alice in Wonderland decorations, huge plants, mushrooms, playing cards, flashing lights, and desserts in every direction. I mean, I was instantly overwhelmed walking through this area in the best way possible. Everything on the menu is based on the Topsy-Turvy Tea Party in Alice in Wonderland. We had one of the chocolate slippers, which was filled with an ice cream-like mousse inside of a white chocolate shoe. It was incredibly sweet, and you are definitely paying more for the experience than the actual flavors, but it was still pretty good, and definitely one of the most memorable meals we had on the entire trips, just due to the ambiance. Of course, we had to get a few more drinks, and naturally, if there's an Aperol Spritz on the menu, I'm gonna order it, so I did. After Little Kook, and maybe thanks to a sugar overload, we continued exploring the city after dark, and found ourselves near Monastiraki, right outside of the Cat Temple, where we decided to stop for a proper bite to eat. Here, I had falafel for the first time in Greece, which was so good that I ate the entire thing, even though I had just eaten a literal shoe full of mousse. It had a golden, crispy brown exterior with a warm center that was earthy, herbaceous, and just a little bit nutty. The main flavor of falafel comes from chickpeas, which are blended with garlic and onion and cumin and fresh herbs like parsley and cilantro. It's savory with a hint of spice. Oh, it's just so good. You get the perfect balance of crunch and fluff, and it's super satisfying to eat, especially when dipped in something creamy like tzatziki or tahini. I cannot remember what these fried croquettes were, so if anybody recognizes what they could be, let me know. But the tzatziki sauce for dipping was to die for. The next morning, we went to one of the many restaurants on the ground floor of our apartment building. I drank some of the freshest orange juice I have ever tasted. Like, seriously, we don't have it like this in the United States. While my husband Nick had a breakfast sandwich that had been served between waffles, I got a bagel and prosciutto sandwich, which I might add, I will only eat tomatoes if they are served in Greece. I hate tomatoes. Because we'd spent most of the previous day soaking up the sun and resetting from our travels in Egypt, we felt refreshed enough to fully start exploring Athens. We started the morning at the Acropolis Museum, wandering through some of the greatest ancient artifacts ever discovered. It was awe-inspiring to see history preserved in such incredible ways. The views from the museum were unmatched as well. The museum itself is built on top of an ancient ruin site that they are actually still excavating to this day. Pretty much everything in Athens is old and built on top of something older. After the museum, we made our way up to the Parthenon and the Acropolis of Athens. Despite the ancient ruins being under construction to help preserve them for future generations, it was still absolutely incredible. The views from Athens from what's essentially the highest point in the city were unmatched. Our journey to the top of the Acropolis left us sweating, so we decided to get a quick cold bite to eat back on the streets of the city. The gelato in Greece is a must try. So we walked into the closest ice cream joint and grabbed some cones to go as we continue to explore the shopping district. After an hour or two of shopping, we decided we were hungry enough to stop and grab another bite to eat. Greece is known for its delicious octopus, so when I saw it on the menu, I knew I had to try it. It was tender, but a bit chewy around the rings, which made for a super interesting flavor and texture combination that was actually still pretty dang good. From there, both of us were complaining about sore feet, so we stopped at a tourist trap where they basically use fish to eat the dead skin on your feet. This literally tickled so much that I was borderline uncomfortable the entire time. However, the water was ice cold, and a 15-minute soak really did a lot to revitalize our tootsies. And we both felt like surprisingly better afterwards. I always enjoy experiencing one culture represented in another, so going to an Indian restaurant in Greece is very much something I love to do. We started our meal with pani puri, which I have been dreaming about ever since. It's definitely something you don't really see at an average Americanized Indian restaurant. We dined on butter chicken, tandoori chicken, and some naan, some of our favorites that somehow tasted even better overseas. That night, we meandered back to our apartment and stopped to grab a few snacks from one of the many street vendors in the area. I would love for our neighborhood at home to have a quick snack spot like this. It's literally so convenient. The next morning, we found ourselves at the coffee joint. Hands down, the best breakfast spot in Athens. We were greeted by the owners before being served freshly baked spanakopita, an incredible omelet, and the absolute best parfait with Greek yogurt so fresh it was still warm. When I tell people about the things that we ate in Greece, this cup of yogurt and fresh fruit and muesli is the very first thing I bring up. Once we were full, we made our way through some of the most popular destinations in Athens. From the first Olympic Stadium to Hadrian's Arch and countless beautiful gardens in between, we got to see a little bit of everything. For dinner, we stopped for a quick bite at Kamis Kebab for fresh pita wraps. The bread is every bit as delicious as the meat inside. For our last night in Kasmuli, we stayed close to the apartment and had dinner at one of the little restaurants below. I sipped on sweet hard cider while Nick had a classic burger, and I had one more serving of souvlaki on a super fresh salad. The vegetables and greens in Greece are beyond anything we have here in the United States. It's like the freshness is simply unmatched. As we walked back to our apartment for the night, we reflected on our adventures so far. From Egypt to Greece, and still one more leg to go. We were tired, but excited to head out on our final destination, Rome. Our next stop on this adventure is Italy, where we'll explore some of the best food and architecture in the entire world. Greece definitely knew how to feed us well. From beachside pizza and Aperol spritzes to ancient ruins and chocolate shoes filled with mousse, every meal felt like part of the adventure, and honestly, I'd go back for just that yogurt parfait. If you've been to Greece, tell me your favorite thing you ate in the comments. And if you haven't, what's at the top of your foodie destination list? I'm always looking for the next place to eat my way through. If you enjoyed this out of the kitchen adventure, don't forget to flip that sub button and ring the dinner bell to be notified of my latest recipes and foodie adventures that I post every week. Want to dive deeper into my adventures at home and abroad? Head on over to thestarvingchefblog.com, where you can read more in depth and see more pictures from our travels. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next adventure.